next guest has a comedy show on CNN called Have I Got News for You? And this, his memoir, The Man of Many Fathers. It comes out October 28th. Please welcome Roy Wood Jr.
Look at you, still employed, man. You look good. You look good,
Who would have
Jimmy
guessed?
Kimmel.
Who would have guessed?
I told my uncle I was coming here. He thought you were still locked up. I was like, he was never locked up, Uncle Darius.
Did he really think I was locked up?
Well, you know, after a while, once the story get past to 2-3 people.
I see.
He got canceled. Oh, they fired her. Man, they gave him 2 years. It could be anything with my Uncle Derek.
Not yet, but I hope Uncle Derek will come visit me when they do.
Well, as they say,
you?
Jimmy, ICE is coming for us all one by one.
Congratulations on the book. I was just noticing before you came out, I was reading the blurbs. You have some nice blurbs from Trevor Noah, Chelsea Handler. You've got Jim Gaffigan. And Stephen A. Smith said, listen, I've seen a lot of memoirs come and go, but what Roy did in this one, this is different. What do you think he means by that?
I hope that it meant Stephen A. Smith read the book when we sent it to him. I've seen memoirs come and go.
Seen them come and go.
But you got to read it in his voice. Do it again. Read it in Stephen A. Smith's voice, and then it sound like
I think it'd be wiser if you did that. Listen. Smart. I got fired once this month. I don't need another one.
Yeah, man, but it's a blessing to be able to put something like that together.
Such an interesting idea for the book because you've written it with your son in mind, right?
9 years old.
And the idea is that he will read through this in the future.
My father passed when I was 16. So there's a lot of conversations I missed, a lot of wisdom I missed. And so when I thought about the wisdom I want to pass on to my son, I realized that a great deal of it came from men that came in my life much later. And so, God forbid something happened to me before my son and I can have those conversations, it's right there.
You got it right there.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And it started, that book started, it was just supposed to be a Word document on the SD card, and then I'm like, by the time I die, you can't put an SD card in no device. So let me just make it a book for the boy. And the book will be there for, unless they ban it, but otherwise the book,
it should be okay.
It'll be there for him.
Well, your father was a really interesting man, wasn't he? He was a very well-respected journalist.
Yeah,
and discovered Don Cornelius from Soul Train.
Well, don't say it like that.
Why?
He hired Don Cornelius to be in radio. Don Cornelius was a cop. He pulled my dad over. My dad offered him a job. Don Cornelius took him up on the offer.
He had a beautiful voice.
Yeah, you have a deep voice, officer. Come work at the radio station. And so at WVON in Chicago, that's where Don Cornelius kind of got his feet wet in media and eventually became the mogul that we knew him for. And in fact, came to my daddy with the idea for Soul Train. My daddy was one of the people that fronted Don some of the money to shoot the pilot. Don Cornelius comes back to my pops. He goes, hey, instead of me paying you back, why don't you be a producer in the Soul Train? It's gonna be a beautiful thing. It's gonna go on for decades and decades. And my daddy said, and I quote, nobody wants to watch black people dance for an hour. Give me my money back. It's like being able to buy Bitcoin when it was 30 cents.
Right?
But you have to remember, my father, he covered everything affecting black people globally. All he knew was struggle, and everything he ever reported on was struggle. So someone coming into your office going, what if we dance?
Yeah, and then there's going to be a word scramble in the middle.
Yeah, but that's what made Soul Train so beautiful was that in the time that there was so much stress and dismay for black Americans, this was the 1 hour every week where you knew you could just escape and just watch the music.
Right, and only...
I mean, I'm broke. I wasn't allowed. I wish my daddy had taken the deal.
Yeah. I mean, your dad must have been so mad every time he watched that show.
Oh, he's a hater. He didn't watch it. We couldn't watch Soul Train in the house. We could watch Solid Gold.
Oh, yeah? Denny Terrio?
You could watch American Bandstand. I could watch MTV's The Grind. I'm old as hell. Oh, my God.
And then you were a morning radio disc jockey for how many years?
About 13 years between Birmingham and Atlanta, but the bulk of it, 10 years in Birmingham, my hometown. At the station, where my father used to do morning news.
At the very station where your dad
I was in the hip-hop station down the hall, but yeah.
Yeah. I was a morning radio DJ also, and and then you started doing stand-up comedy at that time?
Yeah, I did stand-up around the same time. I would do prank calls and pre-record enough of them to where I could be gone for a couple of days. And, you know, 01, 02, those were the Wild West of radio.
It's a dying art form, the prank call. What with caller ID and whatnot.
Well, nobody answers the phone anymore.
Yeah, nobody answers the phone.
Everything says scam likely, and I'm like, it could be a random black dude trying to get you to cuss him out. But those were good times, man. The prank calls, like
give me an example of one of the prank calls.
Well, the one that I think was probably that made me viral, like back when you went viral over email attachments.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I remember that.
It's called Barbara's Check, and this was a couple of weeks after Katrina, and there were a lot of refugees being displaced all over the South. And I just called a black lady in Birmingham and told her, we're gonna cut your Social Security check and give it to refugees. And what ensued was 3 minutes of perfection. And like, it was wild, man. Dude, we would call anyone, anywhere. I called a laundromat. I asked them if we could put chickens in the dryer to rotisserie them. Like, you're just thinking of stuff. I tried to get on Crank Yankers back in the day.
Is that true?
Bro, I had a prank call CD, and I opened for Bobcat Goldthwait, who was one of your producers on Crank Yankers.
Well, yeah, he was a director on this show.
I saw him in the credits when I paused it. That was enough for me.
Yeah. Right.
And I took Bobcat, I was opening for him in Baton Rouge at the Funny Bone on Red River District, and I said, sir, I do prank I didn't talk like a slave, but I said, Mr. Goldthwait, sir. And he was like, oh yeah, I'll listen to it. I came back to the club a year later, that was still in the green room. I said, Bobcat, you left the CD.
Well, we could have connected much earlier had Bobcat had a CD player in his, Wow, or if you'd put it on that SD card, it could have been a book. You got the show on CNN. Have I got news for you? And is that fun to do? Are you enjoying that?
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And every week, I get to kick it with Amber Ruffin and Michael Ian Black and some of the best and wildest people in politics, elected officials, pundits, and we just make the news a game show. That way you can kind of laugh at it, even though it's not a lot to laugh at.
Yeah, that's nice. And also, you made an appearance on a big show, a court show. Tell me how this came to be before we show the clip, the inevitable clip of this moment.
All right, so I'm good friends with Yodit Tewolde, who is a judge on the TV show Hot Bench. Now, I go out there.
Hot Bench.
Yes, Hot Bench, that's my show. Look, everybody got their favorite court show. I like the show where it's 3 judges deciding who get the PlayStation controller.
Okay.
And sometimes when Yodit come to New York, we kick it. When I go to LA or come out here, we kick it. I go see her at the studio where they shoot the show, and I go, oh, let me see the court show. And then one of the producers come up and go, do you want to sit out there with the people? I was like, yeah. No one's gonna see this, right? He's like, oh, no, nobody will see it. And then the next thing I know, I'm getting tweeted out the yin-yang because...
Well, let's take a look.
Because it's where they sat me, Jimmy.
She made the offer to take you home.
Yes, ma'am.
How far away were you?
About 30 miles from Inglewood.
All right, so this is not dropping you off, around the corner. This is driving you 30 miles.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did your relationship become romantic?
And what, Roy, did you learn from that experience?
I learned if you loan somebody $5,000, you need a promissory note in writing. That's what I learned.
That's your father talking is who that is. Roy Wood Jr., everybody. This is his book, The Man of Many Fathers. You can pre-order it now. We'll be back with Wet Leg.